Hey, it's Tim and Tammy time. And again, I'm kind of wandering over here by myself. Tim's kind of sitting back there by himself. He's drinking. And I'm kind of wandering over here because I want to look at this building right here across the road. See this 3-story building right there in front of me? It's got Raymond James written on that side down there. It's a 3-story building. That was the Rankin Hotel. And there's a room there called Apartment M that was haunted. But that's not what I want to focus on. Now, you know, this is part of the Columbus, Georgia Ghost Trail. However, I want to focus on something that I find completely fascinating. Now,
I think we're going to need a bigger boat.
now, this is it's part of, I think it's Columbus State University that building belongs to, and I don't know what they use it for. No idea what they use it for. However, back in the 1800s, it was owned by, I think the man's name was James Rankin. It was James. What was James Rankin's wife's name? Agnes. James and Agnes. They immigrated here from Ireland in the 1800s. Yeah. Anyway, okay. At the time, they built this hotel back in the 1800s, and later we're going to go see the Rankin House, which is also haunted. I'll make sure that goes in there. All right, okay, so back to the Rankin Hotel here. Now what really got my attention is when I found out that John Wilkes Booth was shot at that hotel, right there across the street from where I'm sitting, 5 years before he killed Abraham Lincoln. John Wilkes Booth was an actor, and y'all know y'all heard me talk about him before because he fascinates me, because when I was growing up, when I hit 3rd grade, we started reading biographies and doing book reports, and I was eat up with Abraham Lincoln. That's what I read. I read everything I could about that little long, tall, skinny boy that loved to read from Illinois. I read everything I could get my hands on. So when I found out that John Wilkes Booth was an ancestor of my grandfather's, now my grandfather's a step-grandfather, so John Wilkes Booth is no ancestor of mine, but he's an ancestor of my grandfather. Everything about him fascinated me. So to find out that right here in Columbus, Georgia, 5 years before he killed Abraham Lincoln, he was shot in that hotel over there, was just amazing to me. Now, he was an actor, and as an actor, he was performing. He was here in Columbus performing. He was a tragedian. He did Shakespeare tragedies. He was performing at the Springer Opera House. And there was, you can find this all in the Columbus Ledger-Inquirer newspaper. And there was a quote. He sent a letter to somebody somewhere else, and he said, "You can stick your whole hand into my neck where the bullet hit me." Now, this was an accident. There were no charges. The man who actually shot the gun was showing his gun to John Wilkes Booth at the time. It accidentally fired, and it hit him. But there are so many people who have said, suppose that shot had killed John Wilkes Booth, and Abraham Lincoln had not been killed and gone on to finish his time as President of the United States and ended the war between the states. So that's my story, and yeah, I guess it's part of the ghost trail, but I don't really, you know, the ghost story just went straight out of my mind when I read that about John Wilkes Booth. So there we go. Rankin Hotel. 2000.
Number has a
Apartment M is haunted, but there are no apartments now. It's just a building. So I don't know if there's any stories today, if I could find somebody who worked there. Yeah, and this is on 10th Street and Broad. And that's where we're at. It's the corner of 10th Street and Broad. If you see that Raymond James, which is on the green awning, that's the building. Was Raymond James a jewelry store? What was Raymond James?
No
Okay.
idea.
Anyway, there you go. There's another Uptown Columbus story for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. Thank you.
This is what you do with trash. Put this in the City of Columbus trash bag. Let's see if we can cross this.
Get a better shot. I don't know if you get a better shot.
No, I'm thinking about that plaque you wanted me to get.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to go, we can go now.
We go now, yeah.
It ain't blinking yet. We get halfway in now.
For man and beast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a water fountain right
It's
there.
for dogs at the bottom, horses in the middle,
Yeah,
and people at the top.
there it is, right there.
Now that's cold. There's supposed to be water coming out of it all the time.
Well, I'm sure they got turned off now.
Well, yeah, but you see, water comes out here and there's a hole that it drops through and goes to the dog bowl. Yeah, that's cool.
It is.